Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Chels Cora and today I have a very interesting topic. I'll be talking about childhood trauma and how it affects our adult life today. So what exactly is trauma anyway? Well, very simply put, a trauma is any experience or emotion that goes unprocessed. And it could be anything from things that as an adult we might look at and say, oh, that's not a very big deal, to some of the more explicitly recognized traumas like abuse or neglect. So some examples of these lesser known traumas would be a child watching their sibling open up all their gifts on their birthday while they're sitting over here with no gifts and no attention and really not understanding why, and their parent or caregiver just says, hey, it's not your birthday, don't worry about it, and they don't get to process that emotion. Or a child who loses their favorite toy and their parent just kind of brushes it off. Anytime that a child has an emotion that they don't get to process, that an emotion where their caregiver tells them they're either wrong for having it or that they shouldn't be feeling that way, is something that becomes a trauma. And so what happens when we experience trauma during these very delicate childhood ages is that our consciousness actually splits. It splits into a part that is vulnerable and could handle the trauma, and then another part that is like the protector part that could handle the trauma. And the protector part is what makes up our dominant and conscious personality, while these other vulnerable parts of us just kind of get rejected by us and exist only in our subconscious. By the time we reach adulthood, we're made up of all these different fragmented parts. There's a part of us that wants to be in a relationship. There's a part of us that wants to stay single. There's a part of us that wants to keep their day job. There's a part of us that wants to become a nomad and live in the mountains. There's a part of us that really wants to have kids, and there's a part of us that wants to be the eternal auntie or uncle. And we all experience this to some degree, even if it's as minimal as a part of you wanting lasagna for dinner and another part of you wants pizza, like just not being able to make up your mind and being caught somewhere in between. While we all experience fragmentation to some degree, the people who experience it to the larger degrees are those that get diagnosed with things such as bipolar disorder or multi-personality disorder. And so these parts can often be in conflict with one another, which causes behaviors that often get labeled as self-sabotage. So going back to the example of somebody who really wants to be in a relationship. Let's say they are in a relationship and they love their partner so much, but then they keep doing things to push them away. Or somebody who really wants a promotion at work, but subconsciously continues to do things to habitually underperform, ensuring that they will never get recognized. Or somebody who really wants to lose weight and get fit, but subconsciously just binges on junk food. Or somebody who wants to have kids with their partner and they've made a conscious decision to do so, but then the next time they're at their gynecologist, they ask for a refill on birth control. Because there's a part of us that really does want these things that we're seeking, but there's a part of us that believes it's also in our best interest to not get them. So basically all of our insecurities, our unwanted behavioral and mental patterns and triggers in life can all be traced back to the moment when our consciousness split and when we experienced a trauma, aka an unprocessed emotion or experience. Examples of these undesirable behavioral patterns include, but are not limited to, addiction to drugs and alcohol, overeating, constantly being attracted to emotionally unavailable partners, codependence in partnerships, avoidant behaviors in partnerships, perfectionism, procrastination, and so much more. We live in a society that would like to treat these dysfunctional behavioral patterns through means such as talk therapy, psychiatry, or even 12-step programs. And these modalities can be very helpful and great, but are also severely limited because they take place solely on the conscious realm. And all of our traumas exist in the subconscious and even unconscious realm. So when we go and talk about our problems in therapy or in an AA meeting, it gives us a lot of release in the moment, but it does nothing to address the root of the problem. It's just addressing our issues on the surface level. And so if we want to heal our behavioral patterns once and for all, we have to heal the trauma from which they're stemming. And most of us don't know which trauma, which childhood memory or unprocessed emotion is causing this experience. We simply know, if we're exceptionally self-aware, what the symptoms are, and they're manifesting in our life as problems that resurface over and over and over again. So how do we go deeper beneath the surface into the subconscious and unconscious realms to heal these traumas once and for all? Well, I can only share the tools that have helped me the most, which are parts work and inner child work. Those are two very phenomenal modalities of healing that could be talked about so much that they deserve their own videos, which is why I will be talking about them in their own separate videos within the next couple of weeks. So definitely stay tuned for those. And in the meantime, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment in the section below, subscribe to my channel because there is so much more inspiring, uplifting, and thought-provoking content forever on the way. Thank you and goodbye for now. Have a blessed, blessed, blessed day.